welcome.
Welcome to us actually doing podcast again this year.
I know, we've been more into them. I think we're in like a really good like lifestyle content headspace because we've been like enjoying the lifestyle again.
Yes, I think we are a lot better about headspace right now this year and the lifestyle versus like other years where it was like work. And like this year we've really like, I think continually like remind each other like, hey, this is fun. Yeah. This is why we're in the lifestyle has made it fun again.
Yeah. So welcome to podcast season 3, episode 3.
Yeah, episode 3. So
it's not even the end of January, and this is our third one.
This is our third podcast.
I guess by the time it's out, it'll be February.
True. So finding the right couples to vibe with, like, because you and I had talked about that, of like when we find like that, those right couples that match your like energy.
Yeah. So it's like you can meet couples that you like or you're even physically attracted to and get to know and hang out with, but like even like your like life energy, but like even your sexual energy, like, you know what I mean, like yes. Somebody who just matches that kind of, I guess, the vibe. Thank you for checking out the Impulsive Duo podcast. Remember, our content is for 18 and over. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button.
I think everybody knows what it's like when you meet somebody who is like you're sexually compatible with, like, or you meet a couple that you're sexually compatible with. Like their energy level on it is the same as yours, whether it's like they like the kinky side of it or the aggressive side of it or the slow side of it. Yeah, because we've met some couples who it's not like we're not like necessarily attracted to, but like it's hard because I haven't had a friend ask, like, we were talking about this exact situation and it was like, oh, well, do you find them attractive? Do you want to play with them? You're like, yeah, I find them attractive. I like them as people, you know, another couple, but like not jump into bed, rip my clothes off and fuck me attractive. Yes.
Like, you know what I mean? Like there's different levels of like people you want to play with in the lifestyle.
Yes, you almost prioritize people a little bit because it sounds bad, but it is reality. And you do meet these other couples where it's like your energy matches, but then also that sexual attraction matches.
Yeah. And it doesn't mean you can't be friends and like you like the other people. It's just, yes, finding that like sexual compatibility, because you don't, like Eric and I were talking about how it's like, I don't need to just get laid. Like my sex life at home is great. I have a great relationship. Like I'm not really trying to fulfill any sort of void.
Right.
So it's like, why would I sleep with somebody that doesn't physically excite me? Like I'm so fucking excited, or like I want to take her clothes off of her.
Yeah, you want to take her clothes, like, no, and that's the thing is it's like where you're actually really excited because I mean that you're not doing it just because you need to get laid.
No.
You're doing it because it's fulfilling fantasy, it's fun,
mm-hmm.
and when it is somebody that you are that drawn to and you want to have fun with them, it's different where you put in the energy to almost be a little bit more assertive.
Yeah, well, and then watching somebody that's hot that I know that you find very attractive and very sexually compatible with, and watching this person be into you is also a huge turn on for me.
No, and then
like, I've discovered it's like it strokes my ego when a hot chick like really wants my husband.
No, but it's a kink unlocked for me too, because I mean we can go into that experience. I mean, this girl is giving me and her husband both head at the same time, and for me at first, because I'm so big into like I'm more almost participating than you are. Mm-hmm. You do like to watch almost more than I do, and we're figuring that out slowly. But then to like look over it, all of a sudden became really enjoyable to me to look over and see you like just smiling and like enjoying yourself over there, and I'm like, well, that turned on.
First of all, the girl was super hot. She was obviously into like, well, her husband and you, and she was just like obviously good at what she was doing. The look on your face, your body looked hot, like the way you were just, and I was just like, fuck, this is one of the hottest things I've ever seen. I like that, like turned me on.
No,
I was like, I'll just be over here.
Looking over at you in this like smile that you had in this like
was I being creepy?
No, it wasn't a creepy smile, but it was like you could, because enjoyment isn't always sex, you know, and with this lifestyle, because there are times even like with women watching you with a woman, as a guy not participating at that moment, but watching you enjoy yourself, you almost get enjoyment out of that. It's like you're vicariously living through your partner in a sense. And so it turns you on, and it almost like builds your ego up a little bit of like, that's my girl.
You get a lot more attention as far as like, I mean, just guys, because obviously like,
right,
you know, and then I talk to the women, I do all the connecting, and so I am naturally getting a lot more attention than you do, and not like on purpose. I'm not trying to take anything from you. And so when I see your ego kind of being stroked and like just the whole like that, like, yeah, really turned me on. So that's why part of like, even we're discovering things even about our own relationship where it's like, no, I don't like Eric, you know, off talking to a bunch of women behind my back, and I don't do the same. But like, if there's a cute girl that's like into us and a couple, and I know that I respect her, and she's stroking my husband's ego and even chatting with him a little bit, I'm like, that's fine. Like, I almost am like, you're welcome, honey. I'm giving that to my partner, this like hot, I feel like I'm getting to like share that with you.
And it is, and it's also, it's that different way, because like I think with a lot of guys even too, it's like our partner who we love strokes our ego in different ways. But I think everybody needs their ego stroked in ways that perhaps maybe your partner can't necessarily do, because if you
swingers, that's what we all crave. I mean, that's a lot of the reasons. Like, if you really think about all the swingers, you know, a lot of people are in the lifestyle. We all like crave a little bit of attention. We like our egos stroked. We like the high of a new couple, a new date, a new hookup. You know, like that's the reality of what it is. That's why we do what we do. We all probably have a little trauma.
Yeah.
Do we probably still work through little kinks? Like.
But and that was the thing.
It makes it hot.
It does make it hot, and that was the thing. Like when you all play kind of the same. Like even this experience here, like we're all having fun.
There's giggling. There's
jokes. Here I am. I'm inside her, he's inside you, and we're all laughing over funny topic, you know? I mean, that's what it's about, is just, it's not serious. It really brings you back to, this is simple and just fun.
Yeah, and so it's like, we've met couples who, like, we really, really adore, like, as people, or, like, you know, emotionally, and that we even find attractive, but it's like, not making this sacrifice, but like feeling like you just have to sleep with somebody because you're friends with them.
Yes.
Or because you went on one date with them and they keep messaging you and you're like, oh, well, should we like just, you know, do it? Like, not to just do it to do it.
No, and it's
taking one for the team. What do you mean one? You're
essentially then both taking one for the team, because it's like you do place people, and we've talked about this. Like you place people kind of in your life. Like we have met people who are older than us, but the vibe and the energy they give is like younger than us almost. Mm-hmm. And then we've met other people where it's almost like they're almost like parental figures, almost in a sense of how like they talk to you or whatever, and it just, you relate it to like parent. So then all of a sudden it's like, wait a minute, like your guys are cool, like you, but now all of a sudden how I'm categorizing you almost in my brain isn't where I want to play with you now at all.
Yeah, like again, like I said, I don't want to like, you know, throw me on the bed, rip my clothes off and fuck me. Like mentality. Like you don't look at people like that. And I think, you know, we're in, you know, a relationship. Eric is Eric has a little bit of a rough, fun, sadistic side in bed, but he's also very gentle, loving, and fun with me. So it's almost like when we do play, I like to watch him be a little like rough and fun with somebody else, because he, you know, doesn't always do that with me, because he loves me.
No, and
he's gentle.
And it's very different. You do have fun with others different than you do your spouse.
Yeah, and so it's like when I'm in that hot, spicy moment with people, like I want it to be like kind of hot and like naughty and like a little bit like, you know what I mean?
I like to look. For me, even as a guy, it's fun to look over, because I know you enjoy it too. Of like you're taking it from behind, and I'm just hearing the clapping going, and you're just sitting there fucking putting on a show, and it's like that's awesome, because I also know me. It's sometimes hard for me to get to that with you, because I'm more all of a sudden, for whatever reason, with you, like, oh my God, like I want to see your face. I don't want to
make love to you.
Yeah, I don't want to fuck you like a dirty whore type deal.
I want to be a dirty whore.
I know. And like, so it is.
So the sexual compatibility is definitely like something that we're seeing in different couples and people that we talk to, and like, you know, girls even, like we've talked to some unicorns where it's just kind of hard to like get the vibe like there, but then you meet some who are just like this one girl we met just recently.
Yeah.
And, you know, we don't it's like not even necessarily as somebody like even like physically your type or anything, but you start talking to somebody, you get to know them, and you're like, this person's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
This person's gonna be a freak. They're telling you what they like. They're telling you things they like to do, and you're like, yup, this could be a good fucking time. Like, it should be a good time. You should be excited if you're going to sleep with somebody else. It shouldn't just be like, oh, I guess we probably should do this.
Yeah, I think that's kind of the worst feeling ever, is when you're just kind of like, oh, I guess, we should do this just because it's kind of what's expected now of us. And that's where I think everybody's also a little different. Like, I like it, and I've realized more, and I don't know about you, but when we're talking to a couple, like we just were, or to a unicorn, and they're like, oh, I love it when people are doing this, and you like to hear like almost their stories of what they like, and you're like, okay, we're on the same page. And now you kind of like trade war stories in a sense, kind of back and forth, and it's like everybody is like, yes, this is hot, and it's like, okay, this will be fun. Versus, the people who don't really want to share, like, and there's no right or wrong way to do it, but like if somebody wasn't going to share a lot of their experiences, it's like, for us, it's like, okay, then what are you into?
Yeah, I also feel that too. I like when I have friends or couples that we talk to that I could talk about my experiences. I don't feel like I have to hide them. I mean, obviously we don't share names and, like, oh, I hooked up with this couple last night. Guess what? this person, like, we don't like do that. We're not really that kind of like, that's not we don't really kiss and tell.
Right.
But it is fun, like, when, like, a girl that I talk to, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like she's like, oh, we hooked up, with this couple last weekend, and, it doesn't say who, doesn't say they were like, they were in Portland,
Right.
But she's like, it was so hot, and the girl was really into my husband. And, like, we're telling each other kind of like the vibes that we liked and the thing, and I don't feel like I have to hide it, where I'm like, oh, are they going to think I just, like, hook up with too many people, or are they going to be upset that I hooked up with somebody else, or, like... Yeah.
Right, because
this is supposed to be, like, I like be able to have the hot and dirty conversations. It prevents me from friend-zoning people.
No, and it also creates with me more of that knowing that you're in this lifestyle almost just kind of for the right hot reasons.
Yes.
Like, I'm not worried about feelings being developed, and I'm not worried about, like, I feel if you have to kind of like walk on eggshells with people, and it's like you don't want to share, hey, the night before, by the way, we just hooked up with this other couple, now we're going to meet up with you, and worried that you're going to offend them or upset them, versus another couple that you get on that vibe with, and you're like, oh yeah, dude, 2 days ago,
that was so
and they're like,
hot.
and they're like, seriously, like, what happened? And
and then we broke our dry spell finally, and
and it was
when people are like, you feel like you can share those experiences without feeling judged or like you're gonna hurt somebody's feelings. I think it's like,
because I think everybody, like, kind of friendships, like your friendships and stuff that you look for are different, and how everybody develops friendships are different. And so it's kind of finding those people that you develop those same kind of friendships of, how you feel about each other as friends, in a sense of those friends that you can tell anything to, and there's no judgment, and let's have fun, versus those friends almost where you hold back a little bit.
Yeah, well, and like, then the other thing is, like, I was talking to this one girl, and we were talking about all this. It was the same girl, not the unicorn, this other couple girl. We were talking about
how many couples you talking to?
Dude, my roster is fucking stupid right now.
I know it is.
It's bad. It's bad, guys.
It's bad. It's good, but bad.
It's hot. My roster's hot.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I was talking to this one girl, and we were talking about how, they've met couples, and she was like, it got, things got weird after, or I didn't really vibe. I didn't really feel like I could talk to the girl. And she was like, if we ever play, she's like, I feel like you and I could still, like, talk afterwards about things we did, like, and, like, we could talk about it afterwards. She's like, I think that would be so, she's like, I feel like I've, like, to be able to be like, oh my God, last night when you did this, or like, if you did that to my husband, or, can we do it again, and you do this, like, I was like, she was like, I still, like, could see us being friends, like, after, and it's, you know what I mean, like, I was like, I was like, that's actually, like, never really thought about that, but, like, being able to, the same way you can almost talk to your partner is, like, having friends that you can openly talk about, like, it's not embarrassed, because I've also met couples, too, where, like, things just remain awkward, like, no one's saying anything, no one's, like, you know what I mean?
Yes, no, it gets that, like awkwardness,
awkward, like,
versus, and it's almost like, for me, for example, I think it's almost like I feel like I have to just be like their friend and no one else's friend, in a sense of, too, of, like, to be able to talk to people about what you really enjoyed. You don't have to play with them every single time. You don't feel that expectation at all.
Yeah.
And when you do play, it's not like, hey, we're the only ones now, right? You know, type deal.
Oh,
where,
yeah, no, you and I couldn't do that. No. That's more like poly, like, yeah.
It really
that's
is.
not our vibe, which is fine. Some people like that. We couldn't feel that possessed. But I would like to be like, I like to be able to talk to friends and be like, oh yeah, we hooked up with this one couple one time, and it was so hot watching, her was giving Eric and their other, like telling them other things that we've done that we like and don't like to help those other situations be hot and
I think that's why
know what experiences they have, bad experiences they have had. Like we have friends that we have shared bad experiences, good experiences, and it's so like nice to be able to to
share those, and it's also fun because even like
that's the whole thing with like-minded friends.
Yeah,
like-minded friends.
Yeah. And when you do share those experiences, like even with we had a phenomenal time with this couple, and like I'm more notorious, I think, than you of like vocalizing when I didn't enjoy it per se as much as I've wanted to or whatever with a couple.
I could tell if you don't enjoy it. I know you well enough. I can see it all over your face, and your dick will be like.
Yeah, and then I'm kind of like, okay, well, like, let's swap back. And
you're like, can I just have my wife back?
Yeah, and versus, like, when the other couple, the husband and wife both are into, like, hey, what are you guys into? What do you like? What don't you like? And then you're aware of it, so you're not doing certain things to turn off. Like, you're actually you're putting in energy to make it fun.
Yeah. You guys, but this girl, it was her first time. So she's, like, kissed girls, like, done a little bit, but she's never, like, gone down on a girl. But she's been very bi-curious for a while, wasn't quite sure how she was like, I want to so bad. I'm just like nervous. You're going to have to like tell me what to do. And I was like, but like, she's also very feisty and like forward, like her personality. So I was like, you'll be fine, girl. You'll be fine. This girl was, I'm like, girl, you know what you're doing. Like she just was all about it.
And it was,
I was like obsessed with it. I was like, okay.
Yeah, and for once, and I will say, like, this experience has like really opened up my mind on like a lot of things of like even this time for change, like just to sit back and watch this was actually fun because I'm like, you're usually the more assertive one and dominant one,
especially when they're newer, haven't done it a bunch. Yeah,
right. And this one, you were just sitting back, just like, go girl.
Yeah, I was like, fuck. Okay. Yeah. I'm not gonna hate this, and if she wants to keep doing it, and then we would like stop and do something else, and then she'd like want to do it again, and I was like, oh, okay.
Okay, and then time for a water break, and water break, and that's what just it made it like this experience here has really like re-energized me with the lifestyle a lot.
Oh, and good, like, I got him back, guys. We were worried about Eric there for a little bit.
You have, and this one has because it was one of those that just. This is why I got in the lifestyle. You know what I mean? Yeah. Just when you have some experiences that are just kind of mundane, going through the motions. It's like I don't like just going through the motions. I want to have fun.
Yeah, no, and I feel like a lot of it is going through the motions. You feel like you do feel pressured, or you feel expected to play with certain people.
Yeah, it's like okay, we don't really want to.
Because we met you one time at a party doesn't mean we then you feel kind of bad blowing them off, or yeah.
And it also, I think, goes into, again, we've hung out with these people how many times before we've played?
Who?
The ones here from the other night. Together, all of us, we've hung out at three. This was our third time hanging out. All three of us.
I've hung out with her a couple times, and like you've hung out with me and her, and like we on like group situations.
So,
but yeah, the three of us the four of us hanging out.
Yeah, and so I mean, we hung out. It wasn't like we just randomly met up finally and we're like, hey, let's do it.
Well, yeah, and I met her over a year ago.
Yeah, and it was one of those more naturally, like, yes, like that night when we went out, like, yeah, we had a hotel room already.
Yeah, I mean, again, when you've got kids, you have to kind of plan it, but we didn't expect it the last time we hung out, and it was kind of like, we knew it was going to happen, and everyone was really excited about it, so even though it was like, planned, it wasn't like if one person would have been like, hey, you guys, I'm not really feeling that great, there would have been no hard feeling.
Right. If you would have went in the night and one or two hey, I've been actually not feeling well, or
I would have been like, that's
oh,
fine.
no problem.
I still would have had a great time.
Yeah.
The hotel could have been easily canceled. Like, it wasn't like
Yeah, exactly. And
the end of the world.
and that was the thing,
We
is
just
like,
reserved it just in case we all wanted dessert.
yeah, so
We're like, so we went to dinner here, and then we went to drinks, and then we're like, dessert is at the Hilton.
exactly. And it was also fun because they are like newer to the lifestyle. People will always be like, well, do you play with like people that are new to the lifestyle?
Yeah, they're newbies, but not. They've talked about it for a while. She kind of has played separately. He kind of has done a little thing, but she was there watching. So they have had experiences. It just was their first completely same room, full swap.
Yeah.
Are you a female, 18 and over, interested in the lifestyle? Make sure to check out Unicorn Landing at unicornlanding.com or download the app on Google Play or iOS today.
Yeah, full swap. And it was, and that was actually fun because it was like,
and no awkwardness.
no awkwardness. And the one thing I found that's an easy way to check in if everyone's having fun is get everyone to laugh. And like, even you at the one point were like, stop it, we're all laughing too much. If everybody's laughing, we're all having
too much. I think I just said stop making me laugh.
No, you weren't mad, but you know what I mean. It was like, when everybody is laughing and having fun, you know that, okay, no boundaries are getting crossed. Everybody's enjoying this.
We made sure, like, at drinks, we all discussed, like, hey, like, is there, like, we discussed boundaries.
Yeah, and even like flexible boundaries.
Yeah, what's flexible. And Eric and I have learned that too. There are some boundaries, and based on sexual compatibility and vibe and all of that, that we feel a little more open. Open.
Yeah,
to,
like with the kissing one.
Expanding the boundaries.
Because like the kissing one, like it's still for me. Like it would frustrate me, and I know I wouldn't enjoy it. Of like just being like at the bar or whatever and look over and you're just sitting there just passionately making out with the husband and stuff like that.
Yeah,
would
that's
bother
not my
me.
vibe. Yeah, that's not.
And that's not your. Yeah, and that's not
Can
your
I make
vibe.
out with his wife?
Yeah, absolutely. But like we talked about it because like in this case the one girl was like, hey, sometimes to really get me into the mood, I like to be kissed and stuff like that.
Yeah, and I was like, no, in the middle of, and like we've discussed, like, yeah, in the middle of like. Yeah, like I don't want to just sit there and watch it before, like with a unicorn saying you're sitting there making out with the girl and I'm like do.
Yeah.
Like no, like that's not like, which is kind of our boundaries. And Eric, we just both agree that we don't love it, so it was an easy boundary for us. But in the middle of playtime, if a kiss happens or some kissing or whatever to get things going, like that is a boundary that we feel comfortable with in certain situations.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. And it's one of those that. It's so much of it is on vibe and on attraction, and when everything falls into place, you're more open to having that fun because you have the trust there. Like that's the thing too, is like with this couple, how madly in love with each other they are. They've been together for forever. And it was like their relationship's very solid. Our relationship is solid.
Even like kind of separated for a little while years ago.
Yeah.
And like kind of they were young when they got together and all that, and they really wanted to be together, and so they did a lot of really work and soul search. Like they have a very healthy, fun relationship.
Yeah, and that's the thing, is they're just fun people to hang out with.
Like to spice it up.
Yeah, and that's the thing, like even in the group chats that I've found, even for me, which is like people will always be like, what are green flags and red flags? I think they're all different, but for me, like a big green flag is when the guy is not about per se like just I want to do your wife, or God, you're just constantly complimenting my wife. I know my wife is hot, but when it's like making fun about, hey dude, we should wear this shirt, I don't know,
like tease around in conversations, and it's not just about you, like the husband's like just like it doesn't feel like it's so much pressure and they're
no, none of it's
flirty fun. Like Eric is bad about this. You've been a little better, especially like you find the girl cute, because like a girl will like show a picture or something, and Eric like won't even respond, and he's just like, I don't know. I'm like, Eric, it's okay for you to like tell her she's pretty, or like, you know what I mean, or like it's okay that someone sent a lingerie photo and like for you to respond to it, or like that that one unicorn that we talked to, and I was like, ask her about her smile and get a picture from her. You know what I mean? I was like, it's okay to be a little flirty. I've had to like remind you to like.
And also the thing too is I mean it's okay to be picky too, because the thing too is like if somebody sends a picture and it's you're not really on that page with them.
No, but you still should be kind.
That is true, and I'm getting better at that. Like I'm trying very hard.
Eric's just not like a big like nudes or lingerie, or like he's not like a big boob guy. So he's kind of just like
cool.
He's like, oh, nice boobs, like pretty, like
pretty boobs. But no, it's like when you can just nothing feels forced, and it's just fun, and none of, oh, I can't wait to watch my wife with yours, any of that. Just this fun. The fun thing is what it's all about.
You need to get the address.
Oh, sorry,
we're on the road, in case we forgot to give the pre-warning that we are on the road filming, and Eric has to get we don't know. You go to the stop sign and take a left.
Yeah. But
I think I kind of remember.
But it's fun when you find these people, and it's like that, that enjoyable experience, like even afterwards, and even like this morning of like talking of like, God, that was fun.
Oh yeah, and then to reconnect. Well, we didn't really reconnect afterwards much because we were both so tired, but it was still hot. We were like touching.
We were just and we were just like cuddled into bed, and then you're even like, oh, I could pass out like this, but I'm gonna hurt, and I'm like, yeah, I will too. And then like in the morning, it was funny because like you're sitting, and I'm just like, I'm just turned on by you.
Yeah, like dude, it was so hot. I'm like, we're just like still turned on.
Yeah.
Because we like
I just want to go down on you now.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
and you're like, I'm still so turned on, and it's crazy how much it like brings your connection when you have those hot nights. Like you'd think, oh, are you jealous? Are you like turned off by your husband? Are you fucking kidding me? I am so 10 times more turned on and in love with you in this moment. And then because of what we just did together. It was so fucking hot.
Yeah, and then even for me it was funny because I was like, well, what did you think of his, and you're like, oh, it's different. And it's this hotness, and it's like I was telling you
his what?
Of his dick. But I was like, it was hot to watch you like giving him head, because like, again,
I said he had a smooth dick.
He had a smooth dick. And I'm like, what
does
a smooth dick mean? And then I'm like, it's also fun to watch you like giving head from like a different angle than what like I usually see of a point of view.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude, it was hot, and
to see your partner be dirty. That's what Eric and I have discovered we really like too. Like to see your partner, like especially because we have a little bit of a statistic, like that's my dirty, like that's my dirty girl.
Yeah,
like,
fucking dirty fucking girl. And when you're done with this, I'm fucking gonna smash you out again.
Yeah.
Like it's just this, and it puts your love life on this different, non-routine, mundane,
just life in general.
Yes, because you do get so caught up with life, you know, and we're even guilty of it when we're not playing. Like our sex life is good, but it also is.
We go through periods where we're tired, several nights in a row, or I had COVID for a couple weeks, and
or you're just in bed and you're like, hey, you want to do it? Yeah, let's do. And
just that
you
routine.
do it.
Yeah, that's not. It doesn't mean our sex life is everyone's sex life is bad. It's just like how it gets when you're like.
When life is happening, but versus all of a sudden you have this hot experience, you're talking about it while you're having your morning coffee, and next thing you know, you're down giving your wife, licking your wife's pussy in the morning, having her come on your tongue,
and like,
on the chair.
When I know, and then I was like, what I thought about while I did that was watching you get, like, I was like thinking
that was
about
hot.
You getting head. Got me off, just remember like you standing there and like the look on your face and everything, and I was like,
then I take you to the bedroom, and then you tell me that, and then I'm sitting there getting off even quicker because I'm thinking about how she was going down on me, and I look up and you just had this smile, and I'm like, God, you were fucking enjoying and now I'm looking at you like, oh God, yes,
Should we pull over and have sex right now?
We should.
It's snowing where we're at, so that's not going to happen to anyone listening to us.
But it sounds tough.
But it sounds cool.
But it's like when you find these couples that you vibe with, and it wasn't expected and pressured. And that was the thing. Their energy level just matched ours and was able to amp us up.
Yeah, when you have that energy level, the sexual attraction, the fun, the feisty, like you get to kind of do something dirty and naughty. It just makes it. That's what we.
That's what we like that's our dynamic in the lifestyle though. Is we like to fuck, not make love.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the thing is like, you do meet people out there that are super cool and stuff, and it's more of like they want to make love and pet, and it's like that's not
making love with nobody.
yeah, like if I'm gonna make love, I'm making love to you. Like I like to make love to you. That's who I want to make love to. And again, I mean, everybody is different. We just have found for us, hey, this is what we really like, so we put more energy and focus into that.
So good kickoff to the year.
Yes.
2024.
Well, our goal is our goal is 12 and 12.
Oh, yep, 12 and 12.
I have this weird itching feeling that we're going to be well over 12 this year.
I know, we're on a
because it's like we want this to be the
when
fun.
I set my mind to something, guys, and I want the lifestyle fun again, it's fun again.
Yeah, and
12 and 12.
Yeah, so we're actually, I will say this, I'm having the most fun with this since we got into the lifestyle.
Yes, same. We're enjoying it again. It's not about content. There was no cameras being pulled out. There was no nothing. It was just fun.
Yeah, and that's such the difference between like shooting content or filming it versus just having fun.
I still have bruises from that playtime. How did I end up with that bruise? I have a bruise on my chest. It hurts.
I don't know. I know I squeezed you hard. I know he did. I don't know.
It was on my chest, not my neck.
Well, that was more than me, because I know I had my hands on you a decent amount, and for some reason, like lately, even like when I was going down on you this morning, I like to squeeze you now. Like I'm learning more and more. Like I like to feel my hands like wrap around.
But
you.
I think I do too. But I like the external pressure at the same time. Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely
yes. Find partners you are sexually compatible with. And here's the other thing too: is like Eric and I play with people, and we're like, we play it again, because some people ask you to play the same partners, and it's like, yeah, we have before, and like things are fine, or like you're just like, oh, the high's gone, you're not super excited to again, but like. So then it's also really fun when you're like, I want to fucking do that again.
Yes.
And we talked about the end last, after we played with that couple, we were like, we
need to do this again, because
now we all kind of know what each other likes a little bit more. You take it right.
Yeah.
Here. You know what you like a little bit more, and now we did it, and now we almost feel a little more comfortable with each other, that we're like, fuck yeah, we're doing. All of us were like, hell yeah, we're doing this again.
Because it is one of those things, like when you do play with somebody for the first time, and then they can say, oh, I like it really rough or whatever, and still somebody's saying they like it really rough.
Well, at the end, remember, she's like, you can be rougher with me, Eric.
Yeah.
And Eric's like, noted.
Okay, and that was the thing.
But I think it's also weird, like, you don't want to just start being rough with somebody's wife, and you're like, is this so, you know what I mean? Like,
and you're like, it's still that feeling out kind of stage, and then once you're done playing that first time, and you're like, okay, we're all on the same page, and we all want to amp this up a little bit more. This is cool, like we're all on that same page versus, getting done and you're all just kind of like looking at each other like, hey, that was a lot of fun.
Or you just can't wait for them to leave, or you can't wait to just fuck your wife and like go back to, what I mean? Yeah. When you are excited at the end of the night, like makes it worth it too.
It does. And then you have like this fun, hot stuff that you get to talk to your partner about, instead of going, I didn't really like this, and maybe we should try this next time. It's fun to have those good experiences, and it just kind of is like, dude, this was no emotions, no anything, just straight hot fucking. And then you go home and you have all this emotional hotness for your partner.
So yes, sexual compatibility
is everything.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for checking out our podcast. For more information and resources, check out www.theimpulsiveduo.com and stay tuned for season 3, episode 4.